I'm learning how to think different and not scare my son and scare my daughter and stop putting all these boundaries on them and all of these, okay, be careful, don't do this, don't do that. No.
I would teach my kids that you have to transform your mindset. You have to continuously upgrade your relationships.
When we'd have experiences with our children, I would always ask them 2 questions after every experience. What did you learn and what did you love?
When we leave our homes in the morning, we're bombarded with over 6,000 advertising hits through Facebook, through Twitter, through Instagram, through television, through our phones, and through our communities.
I'm learning how to think different and not scare my son and scare my daughter and stop putting all these boundaries on them and all of these, okay, be careful, don't do this, don't do that. No, you still single. Go take risk. Because once you get married, bro, you're not going to want to take them. Once you have kids, you're not going to want to take them. So that mindset thing is important. And y'all got to stop hanging around people who they always putting boundaries around you, always talking negative. And even when they not, like, I'm being real, I had to stop talking to my mom, not because I didn't love my mom, but it was like a million questions every time about entrepreneurship. And it was starting to like get to me. Like, not that I was going to not be an entrepreneur, but it was like, yo, I'm tired of having to defend myself. I'm tired of having to explain myself. I'm tired of having to prove to you that what I'm doing is right. So when we talk, let's not talk money no more. Let's talk about everything but money, and let's not talk about me being no entrepreneur. And for real, even with my wife earlier in the game, I had to just stop having certain conversations because they're not bad people, but they're security people. And I'm like, yo, I can't do it. Like, I can't talk to y'all because y'all not putting the fire
because that's their emotional response to money. It's security, right? And I'm just being real. This is exactly what I'm talking about, E. And the haves have because they're not interested in security. Now, I'm not telling you to be dumb about it, but I'm saying they have a growth mindset, whereas we have a fixed mindset. You go to work, you get paid X. Like I said, I love my pops. He provided a great middle class lifestyle, but it was, you got the same the check every single Friday. Like Moss said, he said they put when he was a cop, as a cop, they put your check in a box. You walk up there, boom, you take your check. You can see what everybody else make because everybody make the same amount. So if you have that type of mindset, then of course security is everything because there's only a certain amount to go around. What millionaires understand is that money is in abundance, right? Moss said he made more than he ever made during the recession. He made a ton of money. Why? Because he believes that money's in abundance, whereas we're always taught security, safe, and we put money on this pedestal. You cannot put money on a pedestal if it's a tool, right? We don't put our toaster on a pedestal. We don't put our vacuum cleaner on a pedestal. It's a tool. It has a purpose. It serves a function. And it's not this emotional thing of, oh my God, if I got it, then I'm okay. And if as soon as I lose a cup, I'm out. Like, if you operate like that, you can never be great and you can never have a secure relationship with money.
I would teach my kids that you have to transform your mindset. You have to continuously upgrade your relationships. My youngest son, John Leslie, poses a question. He said, when you have goals and dreams you want to achieve, he said, ask yourself the question, who should I count on and who should I count out? And so many people never achieve their goals because they have too many toxic, negative, energy draining people in their lives. And you have to have goals outside of your comfort zone that will challenge you, because in order to do something you've never done, you've got to become someone you've never been. And you got to have a mentor who's experienced, who's been there, done that. And as a result of that relationship, because you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. Muhammad Ali said, I'm the greatest, but he never won a championship without Angelo Dundee. And Michael Jordan never won a championship without Phil Jackson. So you've got to have someone that can see something in you that you can't see, that can take you to a place within yourself that you can't go by yourself. So I would teach them the value of having a life code, that life is an adventure and it's going to be a challenge, and get ready because you're going to fail your way to success. You're going to get slapped around by life. And don't spend time complaining about it and telling everybody 80% don't care and 20% glad it's you. Sidney Poitier wrote a book called The Measure of a Man. And he said, when you go for a walk with someone, something happens without being spoken. He said, either you adjust to their pace or they adjust to your pace. Whose pace have you adjusted to? And so there are things that we pick up and we think that they're our choices, but they're the choices that we've been programmed by life to do. When we leave our homes in the morning, we're bombarded with over 6,000 advertising hits through Facebook, through Twitter, through Instagram, through television, through our phones and through our communities, and through the computers. And so all of these things are impacting us every day. So if you don't have a program for your mind, then your mind is going to be programmed, and you'll find yourself doing things that you did not know, and that they affected you, that they, through marketing techniques and strategies, that they will create a thirst within you. I came up in an era that said if you built the best mousetrap, the world will be the path to your door. But if you know marketing, people will sleep outside your store to buy a telephone they've never touched or seen. But because of the marketing, they said, I've got to have that. Those experiences of going after goals that's beyond your comfort zone, and having relationships that will challenge you, and surrounding yourself with coaches and mentors who can take you to a place within yourself that you can't go by yourself because you can't read the label when you're locked in the box. And so those experiences, they challenge you to go to that next level and continue to move forward in your life, doing new and exciting things that eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor is it in the heart of mankind what God has in store for you when you live a heart-centered life, deciding that you're going to live a life that will outlive you. You're going to live a life that counts, a life that will build a legacy and change the planet. You know, Horace Mann said, we should be ashamed to die until we've made some major contribution to humankind. And so my goal is to make a major contribution to humankind. I am the father of 10, 5 boys and 5 girls. I'm suing the people who came up with the rhythm method. The rhythm method don't work. You know, I've got rhythm, but the rhythm method does not work, okay? And I have 15 grandchildren and 4 great-grandsons. And so every day when I get up, my mindset is, what is it that I can do to touch and impact somebody's life today? What is it? What does that look like?
Experience is not the best teacher. Yeah, but we hear it all the time. In fact, I used to say experience is the best teacher, and then one day I woke up and said, that's a stupid statement, John. If experience was the best teacher, then it's everybody got older, everybody get better. And yet I know a lot of people, they're getting older and they're not getting better. Yeah. And so I stop and I say, okay, it's not the experience that's the best teacher, it's evaluating that experience.
That's interesting.
It's, you know, reflection turns experience into insight.
So how do we get good at that?
Well, we get good at that by understanding that experience isn't enough. The point being is that after every experience, I have to pull away. And I have to ask myself, okay, what did I learn from that? Because there's something to teach you. In fact, when we'd have experiences with our children, I would always ask them 2 questions after every experience. What did you learn and what did you love? And you know, for a kid, in fact, I'd really ask them, what did you love, what did you learn? Because kids kind of know me. Oh, I love that, Daddy. And this was a lot of fun. So that was kind of an easy one. But I always then wanted to, I would say, no, what did you learn from that? Till probably by the time they were 10, after every experience, they'd just say, okay, here's what I loved and here's what I learned. Well, what I taught my children to do is evaluate every experience, because if I don't stop and reflect and evaluate out of that experience, I will do the same thing next time. And that's not what is where the growth is. The growth is always in learning and evaluating, and not only evaluating, but in you know, learning is overrated unless you improve. So I mean, you know, it's more than what did I just learn out of that? What do I do out of that I improve my life with? And I think that's a big miss also. I was having an interview with a major CEO, of a large software company. And so I asked him, I said, talk to me about your failures like I do in my learning lunches. This was on an executive circle call where I was on the phone and other executives were listening. So I said, talk to me about your failures. I said, what would you like to go in your life and do over? You know, get the do-over. So what's your top do-over? And he said something very interesting to me. He said, well, I've had failures, I've had a lot of mistakes, made some wrong decisions, but I don't think I want to do any of them over. And I said, you're kidding me. You mean if you could go back and correct a failure or mistake, you wouldn't want to go back and correct it? He said, no. He said, the lessons I learned out of my failures probably are a lot more valuable than if I'd have just made a successful decision and moved on. He said, who I am today is based upon not having do-overs and learning out of my adversity and difficulty and struggles and darkness. And I thought it was a fantastic answer. It really talked to me a lot. And I thought to myself, I think that's a perfect example of leaders building character out of their failure and out of their adversity.